If you've ever stood in your kitchen at 7 a.m., holding a bowl of cereal your child hasn't touched, watching them stare at the wall like they're contemplating the meaning of life, while you're just trying to get shoes on, you're not alone. And no, you're not doing it wrong. Here's what mornings look like for so many parents right now. You wake your child up, or at least you try to. It's like trying to wake a brick. They're heavy, slow, and when you finally get them vertical, they move through the house like they're underwater. You ask if they want breakfast. No. You ask if they need help getting dressed. No. You suggest literally anything. No. And somehow, in the span of 30 minutes, you've used up 30% of your energy for the entire day. Before you've even left the house. Before work, before errands, before any of the actual parenting still ahead of you. You start wondering, why is this so hard? What am I missing? Here's the part almost no one talks about. This isn't about you failing as a parent. This is about what's happening inside your child's brain and body. And once you understand it, the whole thing starts to make sense. First, let's talk about sleep. Your child is getting older and their sleep needs are shifting. But here's the tricky part. Their circadian rhythm, the internal clock that tells their body when to sleep and wake, is still developing. For a lot of kindergarten-age kids, their natural rhythm wants them to stay up later and sleep in longer. But school doesn't care about that. So when you're waking them at 6:30, their brain is still deep in sleep mode, not just groggy. Biologically, genuinely not ready to be awake. That sluggish, heavy feeling? That's real. Their brain hasn't fully transitioned out of sleep yet. It's like you're asking them to run a marathon while they're still dreaming. Now add this. Your child is in a massive developmental phase where their brain is obsessed with one thing: autonomy, control, independence. This is healthy, by the way. This is exactly what they're supposed to be doing at this age. But here's where it gets exhausting for you. Every question you ask, do you want toast or cereal? Should we wear the blue shirt or the red one? Their brain hears it as a test, a chance to prove they're in charge. And the easiest way to do that? Say no. To everything. It's not personal. It's not defiance for the sake of being difficult. Their brain is literally wired right now to assert independence, and mornings, when they're already dysregulated from waking up, are when that instinct is strongest. And here's the layer people don't talk about enough. Young kids don't have fully developed prefrontal cortexes yet. That's the part of the brain that handles decision-making, emotional regulation, and transitions. Adults struggle with mornings, and we have fully developed brains. For your child, mornings are neurologically overwhelming. They're transitioning from sleep to awake, from home to school, from your presence to being away from you. That's a lot of emotional labor for a little person. And when their system gets overloaded, they shut down. They slow down. They say no. If coffee could cry, it would understand your mornings perfectly. So what actually helps? Not perfection. Not color-coded charts that require a project manager. Just a few small shifts that work with your child's brain instead of against it. First, stop asking so many questions. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but every question is a decision point, and decision-making is exhausting for their brain in the morning. Instead of, what do you want for breakfast? Try, we're having eggs today. Instead of, do you want to get dressed? Try, let's go pick out your clothes. You're not being controlling. You're reducing the cognitive load. You're making the morning easier for both of you. Second, use visuals. A simple picture chart showing the morning routine. Wake up, brush teeth, get dressed, eat breakfast. Kids this age are visual learners, and when they can see what's next, their brain doesn't have to work as hard to remember or anticipate. You can even let them check off each step. That little bit of control, moving the magnet, putting the sticker, can satisfy that need for autonomy without derailing your entire morning. Third, and this one takes patience, rethink bedtime. If your child is fighting sleep at night, they're probably not tired yet. And I know, you need that evening time. But if you can shift bedtime even 15 minutes later and add in a calm down transition, dim lights, quiet activity, something that signals to their body that sleep is coming. It can make mornings dramatically easier. A well-rested child who wakes up naturally closer to their rhythm is a completely different human than a child dragged out of deep sleep. Fourth, give them one small choice that actually matters. Not about whether they're getting dressed, but about how. Do you want to put your shirt on first or your pants? Do you want to eat at the table or on the couch today? That tiny bit of control can take the edge off the entire morning. It's not about giving in to every demand. It's about honoring their brain's need for agency in a way that doesn't cost you anything. Will every morning suddenly be peaceful? No. Will there still be days where you're negotiating about socks like you're in a hostage situation? Absolutely. But you'll understand what's happening, and that changes everything. Because here's the truth. Mornings are hard because parenting is real. Because you're working with a little person whose brain is still under construction, whose emotions are big and unfiltered, whose need for independence is clashing with their need for you. You're not failing. You're not missing some secret trick that other parents know. You're just in the thick of a genuinely difficult phase, and it takes energy. Of course it does. Your child isn't learning not to hit because of one perfect response you give at the playground. They're learning because of hundreds of tiny moments over time. Moments where you stay calm. Moments where you name their feelings. Moments where you step in and show them what regulation looks like when they don't have it yet. That's the part people don't see. They don't see the conversations you have in the car on the way home. They don't see you practicing gentle hands for the 15th time that week. They don't see the bedtime talks, or the books you read about feelings, or the way you model apologizing and repairing when you mess up. All they see is one snapshot, one moment, and they build a whole story from it. But that snapshot is not the whole truth of your parenting. And honestly, even if you don't handle every incident perfectly, even if sometimes you snap or feel embarrassed or replay it in your head all night, that still doesn't mean you're doing damage. Repair matters more than perfection. Always. One thing that helped me emotionally was reminding myself, my job isn't to stop every hit forever. My job is to teach my child what to do instead. And that takes time, brain growth, and a lot of repetition. If your toddler is in this phase right now, you are doing one of the hardest parenting jobs there is. Guiding a tiny human through emotions they don't yet understand, in a world that expects them to behave like they do. So if today was rough, if there was another incident, another apology, another walk of shame, take a breath. This one moment does not define your child, and it definitely does not define you. Tomorrow is another chance to practice. Another chance to model calm. Another chance to help their brain grow just a little bit stronger. And one day, when you see your child hand a toy back instead of hitting, or walk away instead of lashing out, you'll realize all those exhausting, invisible efforts added up. You're not alone in this. You're not behind, and you are absolutely not raising a tiny tyrant. You're raising a toddler.